Hey everybody, what's going on? It is Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Bear Mountain Camping Adventure. Bear Mountain Camping Adventure is a game published by Sweater Bear Games, designed by Casey Mattes, I'm not sure how you say that, Mattes. Plays 1 to 4 players, ages 10 plus, 50 to 90 minutes. Time, we'll get back to that later. But in this game, what you're effectively doing is you are trying to go camping. And you're basically setting up different campsites around this mountain, trying to get from the lowly green spots to finally the top of Bear Mountain. And the way you're doing that is by playing cards. It's a deck building game. You're going to have crappy cards. You're going to buy better cards. And you're trying to get different resources. You have to spend those resources to move to campsites and other things. You're also trying to fend off bears and all that kind of mess. But if you want to see how that works, you can click the link in the video description. And I'll play through, 3-4 rounds of a solo game. If you don't care about that, stick around here. And we'll take a look at the components. Alright everybody, let's take a look at the components for Bear Mountain Camping Adventure. So this is the box. It's pretty cool. People said that it used AI art. Maybe. I don't want to get into that conversation. As far as I'm concerned, the art is cool. So there you go. Pretty big box. Bigger than Ticket to Ride. I know that because it doesn't fit my game bag very well, but it is what it is. Alright, now, the bottom of the box does have a really cool insert. I'm not going to show you that because I have it off to the side, but I will show you everything else. So the game comes with 2 of these component containers here. They're all going to have the main goods of the game, so campfires, all the main resources. Okay, so there's 2 of those. And then it's also going to have this big section here, which is going to have basically everything else. So coins, campfire tiles, stuff for the expansion, which I didn't show off. Dice, there's some dice for the expansion. And just extra bits that you're going to need that are not resources. Okay, fantastic. They all have lids. Love it. No complaints there. All right, now let's look at the board. The board is huge, but it has really cool art. It actually looks like a campground. There's roads that kind of like move around the thing. It doesn't really mark the area, so like you can see this brown road here. It kind of marks the purple, but it's also around some of the brown ones too, so it's a little confusing. So what you're really looking for are these flags. Just know you're moving around the board like this way. And then eventually you're going to be around the mountain trying to get to the middle. Cool iconography. It's easy to see what it is. If there's a camp tile on it, you can see that. The camp tiles are fine. They're just tokens with pictures on them. No issues there. The cards are pretty nice. 2 fat decks. It's a deck builder with double decks, which is cool. Same kind of art as the box. I like it. It's a cool vibe. Easy to see what they are. You can see that what it gives you and what you're purchasing it for. So get that. Purchase it for that. Player board is cool too. Place to store everything. A little marker to see how far you've moved up on the mountain. Dice for the solo game. This card here for your player actions tells you what they all do. These different tokens do. And then there's also a Trailblazer token, which basically whoever's farthest ahead gets this and they get a coin each turn. I didn't show you that because it doesn't really matter in a solo game, but it is a thing. So, components overall pretty good. The rule book is quite good. It's small, but it taught me how to play the game. I just learned it from the rule book. I didn't watch any videos. Pictures of setup. There's FAQs on all these cards too. Let me show you that. Yeah, like card clarifications, which I appreciate. Every rule book should have that. If you have cards, you need to make sure that I understand what they do, what all the campers do, because there are different ones. I picked the easy ones, but there are more options, which is pretty cool. And then how to play solo. So, yeah. There you go. Those are the components for Bear Mountain Camping Adventure. Let's go see what we think about the game. Alright, so Bear Mountain Camping Adventure is a game that I backed on Kickstarter. And I got it because we talked about it on the podcast. Katie thought it looked interesting. We have parks. The theme is interesting. Camping. Doing a little set collection, resource management. We got all that. So I finally get it, play it. and I enjoy the game. The game is it's a light deck builder. You have two different colored decks, which is kind of interesting. There's a green deck and a blue deck. You're buying from each of them on the board. You can buy from either deck, but they're going to go into the appropriate deck when you buy them. So you may get some better cards in the green, but then you go to different spaces on the board that only let you draw blue. So then you're trying to balance all that out. And you're just basically collecting resources, spending them to move. It's a race to be the first player to get to the top of Bear Mountain and set up camp. Now, my one complaint that I have is the game is long. It says 90 minutes on the box. We played a 4-player game learning it, and we probably spent 2.5 hours. And that was with us basically doing our turns. Right after I took my turn, I would take my next turn as long as I wasn't buying cards, and then wait. Then when it's my turn, then I'd move on and buy my cards, do all my stuff, gather my resources, do all that. So we're kind of doing turns simultaneously. It may need a little bit of a startup assistance to be able to help you get going. It's hard to fight off the bears, so if you go to a campsite that has a campsite tile, you flip it and it's a bear, it scares you back. So all that work you put in to move to the further campsite gets knocked down. Collecting resources is awesome. I love it, but sometimes it's hard to thin your deck out, so there could be 3, 4, 5 turns where you only draw starting cards. So you're getting 4 resources a turn. Or if you buy that off-road card, which you need to get to the top of Bear Mountain, you might be getting 3 resources because you have the crappy card in your hand that you can't do anything until the very end of the game. So, my only real issue with this game, I like everything about it. I like the components. I like the art. There were some criticisms about it being AI art. I think it's just digital art because it's by a digital art company. I don't think it's AI. But again, I'm no expert. I like the way it looks. It's a cool vibe. Components are fantastic. Game trays are amazing. Love the board layout. Love everything about this game. My only real critique is I think it's a little too long. And I think it needs some, you know how Terraforming Mars does that prelude where it gets you started, skips basically the first 4 or 5 rounds. I think this needs that. It'd be good to start with some kind of resources so you can get going a little bit quicker. Because getting to that first campground is tough. And then getting from that first one to the second one is even tougher. So getting a little bit of a head start to get to that, I think would be cool. Maybe get a special card in your deck or something. I don't know. I'm not a game designer. I'm not a developer. But I would just like it to be a little easier to get from the green to the first color, which I think is purple. I'm not sure. But other than that, it's a solid game. I like it. Love the theme. Love the journey. I like those games where the first person to get to somewhere is the winner. I like everything about it. Make it shorter. Give me a little bit of stuff to get started. And I'd be down even more. I mean, I'm going to play it. I'm not going to stop playing it, but I would enjoy it even more. So all that being said, I'm going to give this a BGM Accept the Seal. This is going to get a 7.5 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 3.75 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing. But what I take with the games that we enjoy. And that's what I'm going to do. So that is Bear Mountain Camping Adventure. I Can Talk, as per usual. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.